The difference between successful people and others is how long they spend time feeling sorry for themselves. Barbara Corcoran. There's a quiet killer of dreams that doesn't come from failure or fear or even lack of opportunity. It comes from something smaller, something more subtle, something that hides behind your pain and whispers in. It's okay to stop trying. That voice is self-pity, and if you let it stay, it will eat your energy, your drive, your clarity, and your future. But if you learn to rise above it, if you can stand up when life knocks you down, you become unbreakable. That's what Barbara Corcoran understood. That's why she said, the difference between successful people and others is how long they spend time feeling sorry for themselves. Because everyone gets hurt, everyone fails, everyone falls, but not everyone gets back up fast. The truth about self-pity. Let's be honest, life hits hard. Sometimes you give everything and still lose. Sometimes people betray you. Sometimes things fall apart for no reason at all. And in those moments, it's easy to slip into self-pity. It starts with a simple thought, why me? Then it grows, this isn't fair. No one understands. I deserve better. Before you know it, you're not moving. You're mourning your potential. You're sitting in your own story of defeat. But here's the truth. Self-pity feels like comfort, but it's actually a trap. It doesn't heal you. It holds you. It doesn't protect you. It paralyzes you. It tells you that doing nothing is okay because you've suffered enough. But while you're standing still, life keeps moving. And success, it doesn't wait for anyone. The emotional physics of failure. Think of pain like energy. When something bad happens, a loss, a failure, a betrayal, you're suddenly filled with emotional energy. That energy must go somewhere. If you turn it inward, it becomes self-pity. You spiral, you shrink, you suffer. But if you turn it outward, it becomes drive. You channel it. You grow. You rise. That's the physics of failure. It doesn't destroy you. It transfers power to wherever you direct it. So the question is, where are you sending your pain? Are you using it to justify staying stuck? Or are you using it as fuel to move forward? Because energy doesn't disappear, it transforms. And the most successful people have mastered the art of transforming pain into power. Barbara Corcoran's story. Before Barbara Corcoran became a multimillionaire investor on Shark Tank, she was a waitress earning $1 an hour. She started a small real estate company in New York with just $1,000 and a business partner she trusted deeply. But one day, that partner betrayed her. He left her for her secretary and told her she'd never succeed without him. Imagine that. You've built something from scratch, and suddenly you're told you're nothing. She had every reason to feel sorry for herself, every excuse to quit, but she didn't. She said, that betrayal was the best thing that ever happened to me, because it forced her to fight. She rebuilt her company, alone. She pushed harder, worked smarter, and refused to be defined by anyone else's opinion. Years later, she sold the Corcoran Group for $66 million. Now she's one of the most respected investors in America, not because she never fell, but because she didn't stay down. The 3-second rule for resilience. Successful people don't have fewer problems, they just recover faster. When something painful happens, rejection, failure, loss, they give themselves 3 seconds to feel it. 1, feel it. 2, breathe it. 3, move on. They process the pain but don't live in it. That's what Barbara meant by her quote. The difference isn't in how much pain people experience, it's in how long they dwell there. The longer you stay in self-pity, the more it becomes your identity. The faster you move through it, the more resilient you become. Because the truth is, resilience isn't built in comfort, it's built in chaos. Self-pity versus self-reflection. There's a fine line between reflecting on what went wrong and feeling sorry for yourself. Self-reflection says, what can I learn from this? Self-pity says, this always happens to me. Reflection moves you forward. Pity keeps you frozen. So when something goes wrong, ask yourself, what is this teaching me? What muscle is this pain strengthening? Because sometimes the universe isn't punishing you, it's preparing you. Building emotional muscle. Think of resilience like a muscle. Every time you get knocked down and stand back up, that muscle gets stronger. Every time you face rejection and keep going, it grows tougher. But just like in the gym, growth doesn't happen without resistance. The people who can endure discomfort without losing direction, they're the ones who rise. Because success doesn't require perfection. It requires persistence. And persistence dies the moment you surrender to self-pity. Let's keep going, my friend, because now we're going to dig deeper. We're going to understand not just why people get stuck in self-pity, but how you can break out of it permanently. Because here's the truth. You can't control what happens to you, but you can always control what happens within you. And when you master that, when you take command of your emotional recovery, you become unstoppable. Why we fall into self-pity. It's human nature. When life hits you hard, when someone leaves, when your work fails, when people don't believe in you, your mind searches for meaning. It says, there has to be a reason this happened. And the easiest story to tell yourself is, this means I'm not good enough. That story becomes a comfort zone. Because if you believe that your pain is permanent, then you don't have to fight anymore. You don't have to risk again. You don't have to face the fear of failing twice. That's the emotional trick of self-pity. It feels safe. It's like sitting in a dark room after the lights went out. You tell yourself, I'll just wait here until someone turns them back on. But no one's coming. You're the one who has to flip the switch, the mindset shift, from victim to creator. You can't be a victim and a creator at the same time. A victim says, look what happened to me. A creator says, look what I will create from this. That one shift changes everything. Because when you take responsibility, not for what happened, but for what happens next, you take back your power. Barbara Corcoran could have spent years blaming her partner, her circumstances, her heartbreak. But she didn't. She used it. She said, all right, this is my fuel now. That's the creator's mindset. And when you live there, nothing can keep you down for long. The recovery formula, the 4 R's of resilience. Here's how high achievers rise from setbacks faster than everyone else. They follow what I call the 4 R's. 1, recognize. Don't deny the pain. Feel it fully. Acknowledge it. That's honesty. 2, release. Don't bottle it up. Write, talk, move, pray, whatever helps you let go. 3, reframe. Ask, what is this teaching me? Turn the pain into perspective. 4, restart. Take one action, any action, that rebuilds momentum. That 4th R is where most people fail. They get stuck between reframe and restart. They say, I understand what happened, but they don't move forward. They wait for perfect clarity before acting, and that's how self-pity sneaks back in. Don't wait, act. Even if it's just one small step, make it now. Action breaks emotion's grip. Pain as a compass. Let me tell you something powerful. Your pain is not punishment, it's direction. The things that hurt you the most often point toward where you need to grow the most. If rejection breaks you, maybe it's time to build confidence. If failure devastates you, maybe it's time to build resilience. If criticism destroys you, maybe it's time to build self-worth. Pain is feedback. It's your body and mind saying, this area needs strength. So don't run from pain. Study it. Ask, what is this trying to teach me? That question alone can turn any breakdown into a breakthrough. Emotional intelligence, the real game changer. Do you know what separates people who bounce back quickly from those who stay stuck? It's not talent. It's not education. It's emotional intelligence. Emotionally intelligent people understand their feelings, but they don't become controlled by them. They can say, yes, I'm hurt. Yes, I'm angry. Yes, I'm disappointed. But then they add the magic phrase, and now I'll use it. That's power. That's awareness turned into action. You don't need to suppress emotions. You need to redirect them. Your sadness can become reflection. Your anger can become determination. Your fear can become focus. Emotional intelligence is not about never breaking. It's about knowing how to rebuild fast. Shh. Resilience in action. Think about every success story you've ever admired. Oprah Winfrey, fired from her first TV job. Walt Disney, told he lacked imagination. Michael Jordan, cut from his high school basketball team. Steve Jobs, kicked out of his own company. All of them had a choice. They could have said, this isn't fair. They could have said, I'm done. They could have sat in self-pity, but they didn't. They got up fast because they understood what Barbara Corcoran said. The faster you recover, the faster you rise. And every comeback they made became part of their greatness. The 3-day rule. Here's something practical, a mindset tool I use myself. Whenever something goes wrong, whether it's a failure, a rejection, a loss, I give myself 3 days. Day 1, feel it. I let myself grieve, vent, cry, or even get angry. Day 2, reflect. I analyze what happened and what I can learn. Day 3, rise. I take one bold action to move forward. After that, no more talking about it. No more dwelling. You can't build a future while staring at the ruins of your past. So pick yourself up, because nobody else is going to do it for you. The mirror of accountability. Every morning, you have 2 choices when you look in the mirror. You can say, I'm still stuck because of what happened. Or you can say, I'm stronger because of what I've overcome. The mirror doesn't lie. It reflects your decision. So decide today that no matter what hits you, no matter how unfair, how painful, how unexpected, you'll get back up faster than ever, because the speed of your recovery determines the scale of your success. There's a moment in everyone's journey when pain stops being the enemy and becomes the teacher. If you've been through enough storms, you know this truth. It's not the rain that destroys you. It's standing still in it. And that's what this episode is about. Not avoiding pain, not denying struggle, but learning how to move through it faster, stronger, wiser. So let's finish this together. Training resilience. Like a muscle. Resilience is not a gift, it's a skill. And like any muscle, it grows through resistance. When life throws you obstacles, it's giving you a gym for your soul. Every failure is a weight. Every rejection is a rep. And every comeback builds your strength. But here's the key. You don't grow by thinking about the weight. You grow by lifting it. You can't read your way to resilience. You have to live your way to it. That means saying, I'll try again, even when I'm tired. I'll show up, even when I don't feel ready. I'll keep faith, even when I can't see the result. That's the grind nobody claps for, but it's the grind that transforms you. Reprogramming the mind after failure. When something goes wrong, your mind's first instinct is protection. It whispers, don't try again, you'll get hurt. That wasn't your fault. The world's unfair. Just take a break. You deserve it. But that's not protection. That's prison. You can't heal in the same mindset that broke you. You have to reprogram your thoughts. Here's how successful people do it. When something goes wrong, they immediately ask, what's the lesson here that can make me dangerous next time? They don't personalize failure. They professionalize it. They extract data from the pain. Failure becomes feedback, rejection becomes redirection, and every loss becomes leverage. The power of bounce time. Write this down somewhere. The faster you bounce back, the stronger you become. That's the secret behind Barbara Corcoran's quote. Not that successful people never get knocked down, but that their bounce time is short. It's like an emotional reflex. They still feel pain, but they don't feed it. They still feel fear, but they don't follow it. They train their recovery just like an athlete trains their body. When life hits them, boom, they exhale, assess, adapt, and act. Fast. It's not about being heartless, it's about being mission-driven. Your goals deserve your energy, not your excuses. From emotion to execution. When you stay stuck in self-pity, you live in emotion. When you rise above it, you move into execution. The great separator between average and exceptional is this. Average people feel and freeze. Exceptional people feel and act anyway. They turn pain into motion. They channel hurt into hustle. They use heartbreak as high-octane fuel. That's what you and I are building here. The ability to turn any emotional hit into action. Because at the end of the day, your life doesn't respond to your feelings. It responds to your moves. The 3 pillars of emotional mastery. If you want to master the art of bouncing back, remember these 3 pillars. 1. Awareness. Name your emotion before it names you. I'm angry. I'm hurt. I'm scared. That's power. 2. Acceptance. Don't resist it. Understand it. Every emotion has a message. 3. Action. Ask, what can I do right now to move forward? These 3 steps shift you from being reactive to being responsive. When you live there, you own your emotional state. And when you own your emotional state, you own your destiny. The Phoenix Principle. In mythology, the phoenix burns to ashes, only to rise again stronger and more radiant. That's not fantasy. That's you. Every failure you've survived has already proven it. You've been burned before, but you're still here. You've fallen, but you got back up. You've doubted, but you didn't give up. That's not luck. That's your inner phoenix. The more times you rise, the harder you become to destroy. So stop waiting for life to get easier. Start becoming someone who can handle harder. Barbara's lesson, your legacy. Barbara Corcoran didn't just survive betrayal. She built an empire from it. She turned heartbreak into hunger. She turned rejection into rocket fuel. Her lesson is not about pain. It's about perspective. It's this. Pain is temporary. Pity is optional. You can't control when life hits you, but you can control how long you stay down. And when you rise quickly, when you shorten that distance between breakdown and breakthrough, you start living like the person you were meant to become. Final reflection. So here's my challenge for you, my friend. The next time you're hurt, don't say, "Why me?" Say, "Try me." The next time you fail, don't say, "I can't believe this happened." Say, "I can't wait to see what I learn." And the next time life knocks you down, don't lie there too long. Feel it, face it, then fight again. Because that's what separates those who wish from those who win. You've just finished episode 10 of the Immortal Quotes podcast. We explored the wisdom of Barbara Corcoran, the truth that success isn't about avoiding pain, it's about mastering your recovery. If this episode spoke to you, share it, send it to a friend who's struggling, and remind them the comeback always starts with a choice. You are not broken. You are being built. In our next episode, we'll dive into the relentless philosophy of one of the greatest dreamers and doers the world has ever known, Walt Disney. His words are simple, yet life-changing. The way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. We'll break down how to silence hesitation, destroy procrastination, and turn your ideas into unstoppable execution. Because talking dreams doesn't build empires, doing does. So get ready. Episode 11, The way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. Walt Disney is coming next. And until then, remember, the strongest version of you doesn't wait for the world to be kind. The strongest version of you creates their own comeback. This is the Immortal Quotes Podcast, where we don't just think, we transform.